Okay, I had a request to go through chapter 2 of the Fortress of Terror, so that's what we're going to do now. Don't know if we'll get out or not. Let's find out. I left the map the same as when we left it last. I didn't erase anything, and I did erase the terror track, well, mostly. So we're going to reuse that, right? And then we're going to play the game much the same way. According to the story, we left the garden and we fell through the ground into this crypt here. And now we are in the middle of the crypt. Here, starting on the footsteps, I have flipped all of my relic cards over. They get to be reused, all of the ones that I collected in the last chapter up here. And so now they're usable again. And I have the relic deck. The ones that I did not draw are here, shuffled and ready to go again. However, in chapter 2 of this module, you're going to add 2 of these chapter-specific relics. This is, again, the graphic design here is a little older. These symbols will not be on the other. They have this, that has changed and simplified a little bit. But we have the Knockstone and we have the Morphing Rod. These 3 will be used in chapter 3, so we're going to put those away for now. Just so you can see them. Fate Dagger, Portal Hood, Smiting Sword. Those are pretty cool. You can actually use the red combat die in chapter 3 to fight. Or fighting in chapter 3 is basically moving through monsters, and then the Smiting Sword will help with that. But we're not doing chapter 3 right now, are we? We're doing chapter 2. And here, the Morphing Rod's going to be cool. It allows us, once we get it, we can actually exchange it with another one from the deck. So that's a really cool one. We'll shuffle that into the deck. The Knockstone allows us to open doors from a distance. That's really nice. Doors. We have doors in here. Okay. And the reason we're playing these is I just want you to see how every chapter can have something different and something new. In this case, we are adding doors and to the adventure. We're also adding a different item that was not in chapter 1. Of course, we have 2 relics here to collect. Only 2. Why only 2? Well, because we had 12 up here. And so now there are 2 more achievable, but it's not a requirement, but it'd be nice to get them, right? But what we do need to collect are these lore stones. In the story, the lore stones are part of Brahm's power or energy. And the more of these you collect, the weaker he's going to be at the end. So you want to make sure you collect as many as you can, but then you still need to escape before your terror track reaches the skull. You can escape by unlocking all 4 of these doors. This door says 1 to 3. Not sure how well you can see that, but this says 1 to 3. This is 4 to 6, 10 to 12, and 7 to 9. 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, I should say. So notice that I've grouped them here. 1 through 3, 4 through 6, 7 to 9, and 10 to 12. And what that means is I have to collect 1 lore stone, at least 1 lore stone, that is between those numbers. So if I collect a 1, 2, or a 3, or 1, 2, and 3, at least one of those, I can open this door. If I collect at least a 4 through 6, I can open this door. At least a 7 through 9, and at least a 10 to 12 lore stone. So I'm going to have to collect at the minimum 4 lore stones in order to unlock these doors and get out of here. And that's great and all, but the more lore stones I collect, the weaker Brahm's going to be in chapter 4 when I have to go up against him. So I'm going to want to get as many as I can. So let's start here and let's see what happens. We're going to start with rolling our dice. Now, the difference here now, you'll also notice these blue die spaces. These are teleport spaces. Now, I know the teleports look like this in the last chapter, but in this one, these teleport spaces are used with the orb die. Now, the orb die, based on the chapter and the module, and actually in some modules, this won't be called the orb die. In Highways of Speed, this will not be the orb die anymore, right? Okay, but it changes its function. But in this chapter here, in this whole module, it's called the orb die. And in this chapter, you're using it to teleport as a bonus special activation, okay? And you can do it for free. So let's roll our dice pool and see what we get. So our 4 movement dice are these, and there's our luck die of a 2, and then we have a 4 for our orb die to teleport. And so that means if we want, we can teleport to that 4 space. Now we have to remember that when we teleport there, we have now locked that space out. It is now blocked. So if we move there now, we just have to remember that we can't move into that space again, and that may start to block some zones. So we got to plan ahead. Okay, we know that the Doom die says 4. I just now realized that it's off camera. My apologies. I'm going to move it down so you can see it. There we go. I'll try to remember to leave it there. Okay, the Doom space is up here off the camera. All right, so let's see. So what this means is the Doom die in Chapter 2 does a very similar negative effect. Now, if you look at the rules, you'll see that round 3, the enemy's power here, you'll see that the Doom die will have a different effect against you, depending on the chapter, depending on the module. In Fortress of Terror, it's always Brahm's power coming against you. He's the enemy after all. In Chapter 2, he is stealing away these lore stones from you every round. So at the end of this round, during the enemy's power phase, Brahm is going to take lore stone number 4 out of the picture. It's going to be gone. It's going to be lost. I can't get it anymore. So you got to be careful, because if you lose all 3 of one that you haven't collected, you won't be able to win, right? So you're going to have to be careful. Here we've got 4, 5, and 6 are going to be going away in succession, right? Because at the end of every round, we rotate the Doom die. So we're going to make sure that we get at least the 4, 5, or 6. Otherwise, we are doomed, right? So which one shall we get first? The strategy is we don't necessarily want to try to get all of them. There's no way you can do that really very easily. So instead of being greedy, you just want to try to do what you can and maximize the situation. So going here, I'm going to have to move through a trap and open a door. I should probably also explain doors before we make our first move. Doors are blocked. I mean, not blocked, I should say. The proper word is barrier. It's part of a wall, right? So you can't just walk through a door. You have to open it first. How do you open doors? Well, to open a door, you have to be standing in a space adjacent to the door. So we have to be standing, for example, we'd have to be standing either here or here to open this door. I'm not sure how well you can see the doors in the camera, but to do that, you have to be standing there or there, adjacent to the door, or here for these doors and such, so forth. And when you're there and it's time to activate a die during the activation phase, you can open the door by simply activating any one of your movement dice, regardless of the number. So to open that door, if we move here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a 5, which I don't have, but I can combine the 3 and the luck die to get a 5, can't I? That would move us here, but then we'd need to open that door, and I can open it with any of the remaining dice. Sometimes I'll slide them over as I'm thinking, and planning, so I can think ahead, and then I'll just execute a whole round of movement, That's a good thing to do. Now, once I open that door, let's just pick one to open the door, then I'll need to move 1 space to get the 4. That actually works out. So let's do that. That's going to be our turn. I'm not going to use the orb die. You don't have to. This does not count as a movement die. It's just a bonus die you can use, sort of like the luck die. You can or you can't, and there's no penalty for not using it. We don't need it this round. So we're going to set it aside, and we're obviously discarding this die because we're not using that. So we're going to move the 3 and the 2 here. The luck die gives us the 5, so we're going to go through that. Now, I know I hit a trap. I do have Rogue Cloak. Do I want to use it now? I don't know. Let's wait and see if I need it for hitting 2 traps at once. If not, then we'll use it for at least 1. Now, we've also going to use the 4 die in order to open this door. Now, when you open a door, you can just draw a line, slash through it, just so it show that it's open. Okay. Then I'm going to use the 1, and I'm going to move 1 space, and I collected the 4, so I'm going to mark the 4 lore stone is now collected. And that's the end of round 1 because I discard this one and this one, right? Because we're not using that. So that's round 1. Not too bad. Brahm is angry because I took the one he wanted. So now he's going to rotate the die to the 5, and he's going after this one next round. Notice how they're not right next to each other. That's on purpose. So that's part of the challenge, and you're just not going to get them all, and it's okay. Just get what you need and get out of here. So the 5 is probably not going to happen, but who knows? I don't know. Maybe I'll get a 5 on the So we also have to remember that we have impending doom. After we rotate the die, we also have to mark the terror in this module. In Temple of Despair, there is no terror track. There's a despair track, and it operates very differently. Well, a little bit differently. So, but we're not going to talk about that module today. We'll talk about it later, but not today. So I'm going to go ahead and mark the terror track. Oh, I moved through a trap, didn't I? So I forgot to mark that one too. So now we've moved through a trap and we're at the end of round 1. Wow. Okay. Better get moving, right? So now we're going to roll these dice. And I don't want to forget about my relics. I can reuse them every chapter, so let's not be too stingy. Let's see here. And by the way, in case you're wondering how you get to these spaces, these are walls, but you can move through here and you can move through here. I'm just not sure how well you can see on the camera, but these are empty like corridors to get through these, so you can enter through from these sides. All right, so now next thing we have to do is get the 5. I'm not sure. I've got a 1 for the die, so I can teleport there. Just give up for now. 6, where's that at? It's way over here. Do we want to try to get that? I mean, we can try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I can use my rogue cloak and avoid the traps. Do I have a 6? I have a 2. Yeah, I can make that a 6. After we open the door with one of these, we would need a 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh? Hey, we can do it. All right, so let's do it. Let's 4 and 2. That gives us 6. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a good time to use that rogue cloak, so now we don't have to suffer damage from those traps. Turn it over. We've used it. Now we're going to use, it doesn't really matter. Let's use the 2. Let's open that door. Let's use the 4. And let's move 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's collect that 6 lore stone. Now, we didn't necessarily need the 6 lore stone to win because we had the 4, but the more we get, the better, right? All right. So we're done with that. And now we didn't use this one, and we discard our 4th die. And Brahm is laughing as he gets rid of the lore stone number 5. And then he's going to rotate this die for impending doom, right? And impending doom in this module, remember, we always mark the terror. Boom. So now we're on to the next round. This crypt is challenging the first time you play it, I will say. Don't get bent out of shape if you can't win it the first time. Any of these, the first time you win it, you're not always going to win the first time. Otherwise it's too easy, right? Take a few tries till you figure out your own strategy, and then you see what you have to do. And you can watch me play, but when you actually play, you start to see, that's what I have to do. I'm going at it again, and I'll win it this time. You kind of have that kind of mentality, right? All right, so here, the next one he's going to hit for us is 6. We've already collected it, so he's benign this turn, but next turn he's going for 7, which is way up here. And now, again, we don't want to be greedy, and we don't have time to sit here and try to get every single one. So we really now need to focus on getting at least one of these, and one of these. The 2 is going to teleport us here. That would allow us to jump down here and get this 2. And honestly, these relics, it's kind of, if you're in the neighborhood, you can pick one up, but I wouldn't waste too many resources trying to grab them. Let's see here. 2 and a 2 is what I would need, right? Well, I do have a 2. Let's go ahead and use this so you can see how I do this. So this is a free move. This is not actually a move. This is just a free action to spend that to immediately teleport to the 2 that does not cost a movement point in this chapter. Okay, because that's not a move. It's just an instant teleport. But now I've used it, and I can never teleport to 2 again, can I? Because now it's a blocked space. So now I'm going to move 2. Let's go. It doesn't really matter, but I think this might be a better way to go. Down, and then we've got doors there and a trap blocking our way. So we'll just be moving around it probably. Now I've got a 2. I can do that without spending my agility necklace. So that's a 2, and I grab the 2. Okay, we're doing well. All we got to do is get at least 1 from each of those now. Now I'm going to go up there. If I can grab the 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looky there. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, I hit a trap. I know. You're just going to hit traps sometimes. All right, but I got the 11. So now all we need is 1 from the others. Okay, Brahm gets rid of 6. No, he doesn't. He's not too happy with me right now. Rotates the impending doom, and we mark the terror track. Ugh, We're already halfway there, so we better, but it's okay. But we do need to make sure we save enough time to get through and unlock all those doors. Now, I don't have to collect all of these before starting to unlock doors. I can unlock at any time as long as I have one of those, if it's convenient to move through and just unlock one on my way through or something. So I just thought I would clarify that. Now, let's go ahead and roll these for our next round and see what we get. Notice, of course, I've played this game a few times, so I kind of know what I'm doing. You might need a few tries before you figure out what you're doing. And you might use these a lot more than I am too, because of that. And you should. There's no penalty for using these. All right. Well, you know, I could get one of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could get that relic. Yeah, I could. I have a teleport 1. I don't know if that's going to help us. Actually, it could. You know, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll see what I'm thinking. Move 4. May as well grab a relic. Maybe I'll get one of the new ones. Did I shuffle these once I put the new cards in? I don't know if I did. I'll do it now. Okay. What do I get? Oh, I got the Knockstone. That's one of the new ones. Well, the Knockstone does is it opens any 2 doors on the current chapter map. Got ink. In Brahms Tower, you may open this door on any of the 3 levels. Now, that part's a little different now. This is it's been updated, but basically any 2 doors on the current map that you're on, you can open. So I'm just going to put that right here, meaning if I use that right now, I could unlock that door and that door just automatically. That will save us if we have to do running through these doors at the last minute. These doors get in your way, can be a real pain, and you know. So, all right, so let's try it. Let's see, I already spent this one. Let's jump to the one, which is going to be right here. Now, let's just go ahead and open the doors and see if we can unlock these. It's not that annoying. Yeah, I could use my Knockstone now, but this door is not that annoying because I'm already standing there. What's annoying is if you don't have if you're not able to end in a space next to the door, that can be annoying because you don't have the dice you need and you can't manipulate them the way you want. So it might be good to save it until we need to do that. Yes, dice have an element of luck, but when you have a lot of ways to mitigate that luck, that's where the game gets interesting. All right, so let's see. Let's open that, and if we go and unlock this, we still need to get 7, 8, or 9. 7's right there, and it's going to go away this turn. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. You know what? I think I may use that Knockstone this turn, but not for what we're thinking. I'm going to use this die. Oh, maybe I won't need to. I'll use that die to open this door. Then I'll use the 3 to move 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's not good, is it? Then we're out of moves. Flickering eagle feathers. There's something else I can do. Not really. All right, I'm going to save that 5 that I used to open the door. Instead of that, I'm going to use this Knockstone and just go ahead and open this door. I'm not going to open that. Well, I better. What if I roll really bad? Well, then I can use my agility necklace. You know what doors I hate? Just because I played this game a lot, I hate these doors. I'm just going to open that one. That doesn't mean that's the best strategy. It's just a personal thing. I'm annoyed at those doors, so I'm just going to open that one. All right, now, and then I'm going to move 3 more. I can't do that. I can't do that. I have to open this door because of what I just did. All right, that leaves me with 2 dice. 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's get the 7. John doesn't know how to play his own game. All right, no, I'm just absent-minded. All right, so there we go, and I collected the 7. Boom. Now we have everything we need to get out of here. But it's the end of a round. He can't take the 7. He's even more angry, or even angrier, so he moves that over to 8, and then we mark the terror track. Oops, shaking the camera there. All right, here we go. All right, so got a 1 again, but we can't really use it. Yes, we can. We have the travel helm, right? Travel helm allows us to teleport to a different destination than what we are supposed to teleport to. So this one would affect this die in this case. So if we can jump, where would we jump to that would really help us? I don't really know. We can hit that trap, but I really don't want to. Eagle feather. No. Well, we can go. I need that scarf right now. Then we could teleport there, but we don't have that relic. All right. Maybe we'll just go to and hit the, well, we don't have to hit it. I just have a bunch of low numbers here. May as well just play to our advantage of having low numbers. And we have exactly what we need. I'll just risk it and hit a trap. I probably shouldn't risk it. We can't really afford it, but I'll go to, and then let's go on down. Let's go to the trap, which is, I mean, not trap. Let's go to the door. So now 1, 2, 3 to the 1 to 3. We have at least one of those, so we've unlocked that door. Now let's go to the next door we need to unlock. One of these, a door, I guess they're portals. That you won't be confused by door. These are more like portals that you have to unlock. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. We still have a teleport we could use, but that's just going to put us here or here. I'm not sure that's, actually it can be beneficial if we do it right. 1, 2. Nah, it's not really beneficial. We only have one more die we can use. Let's just use that one, and we'll go 2. That way, at least we're not hitting traps this turn. All right, so then 8 goes away. At this point, I mean, that one just doesn't really matter. There's no way we're going to get it anyway. Rotate that. Ugh. Okay, we better hurry. We have 3 more portals to open. Isn't this strange? I have played this game 100 times. This little map like 100 times. And I'm telling you, even now, I'm like, my anxiety's going up a little bit. I don't know. I know that you can play one of these, figure out how to win it, and then say, okay, I'll never play it again. It has no replay value. I'm sorry, but I disagree because, I mean, I may want to wait a little bit before playing it again, but when I come to play this again, I'm still having just as much fun as I did last time. So, I don't know. I think it depends on the person. Some people just hate to watch a movie the second time. But really, honestly, sometimes it gets better the more you do it, right? The more you watch it, the more you see it, the more you experience it. I don't know. Sometimes my heart's still going here. All right. Enough of my soapbox. Moving on. Let's go and try to get this. I don't know if I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can I go all the way around? Actually, I can. Sort of. I can go 7 and get myself in place to get the 7 to 9. And where's the 2 going to take us? What if we go there, unlock the door, and then run over there? We can't afford to hit any traps. We just can't. Speed Gloves allows us to combine dice, right? That's different than the text we talked about last time, right? That's a new card. If we combine dice, oh, wouldn't that be interesting? If we combine 2 6s with the Speed Gloves and use the Agility Necklace, we can move 12, 13 spaces using the Agility Necklace. 1, 2. I could even use the Luck Ring to change this to a 4. That would give us 16 moves. I've never done that. That's kind of cool. And then with the Agility Necklace, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's not ideal, but that's really cool. Oh, we do have the Eagle Feather too. We can just move across. All right, let's do it. 6, 6, and we'll change this to a 4. Well, that's just being greedy because we may need that luck die later when we need an exact number. So let's just use the Speed Gloves to combine these 2, and then we use the Agility Necklace to move any direction we want, and we've got 13 here. Lucky number 13, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Instead of going this direction, let's do the 2 over this way. John, you can't move over crumbling paths where you've already been. I know, unless you have the eagle feather. We can jump over, right? So there we go. We're going to end on that space, and I still have these 2 dice to use. I have an idea. I'm going to use it. I'll just go ahead and use it. I'm going to use that ring, luck ring, and I'm going to change this to whatever I want it to be. I want it to be a 1. And we're going to go there and set ourselves up for the final round to try to hit that 10 to 12. Okay, boom. Are we going to do it? I don't know. It's possible. Actually, it's very possible. We just have to make sure we get high enough numbers. Hopefully we will. All right. Doesn't have to be certain numbers, just higher numbers. So 9 goes away. We rotate this up 1 to a 10. Then we do what? Oh, mark the terror track, right? Okay, this is our last round, folks. All right, so we have this, this, this. What if we go 1, 2, 3, 4? All we need is a 2, honestly. Let's use the 3, and we've unlocked that door. Now I'm going to use the 6 to teleport to the 6. No, that's a dumb idea, but I have the travel helm, so when teleporting, I can teleport to any destination teleporter when I teleport. So boom, I'm going to the 5 instead. Now I'm going to unlock that door with a low 1 that I don't need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, just for kicks, let's use the exact 5. No, actually, I don't want to use the exact number because I want to show you what happens at the end of this. I'm going to use the 4 and the 2, which would be 6. And remember, we discard our last die, so we're not going to use the 3 at all. So I'm going to use 6, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I don't go the 6th space because I unlocked the final portal, which means the game instantly ends. I win. I escaped the crypt. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the lore stones. And there's a space to write that down because when you flip this over and you play through and you get to chapter 4, you're going to have to do battle with Brahm down here after you go through the tower. Look at the tower. It has 3 different levels. I played an old game called Bard's Tale when I was a kid, where you had to advance the levels up the tower as a computer game. And this just reminds me so much of that. But when you go through and then you get to this here, this is Brahm's chamber. You're going to fight him there, and you're going to have some stats for your fortitude, sort of like your hit points, I guess, based on how many lore stones you collected, how many monsters you killed, how many relics you have, and stuff like that. So how well you do in the game throughout will affect your final combat. I wanted to show you that because I'm just, I'm trying to show you all exactly what's going on here. And I think there's more requests for how does the game, we want to see more of the game. So I'm doing that for you here. So we win, we got 5 lore stones. I have a little cheat sheet here, like for the move and discard and the teleport. So these can just help you remember what dice you're actually needing for that chapter. Okay, and so we win. Yay. And look, we actually got an extra relic out of it all too, and it was one of the cool new ones that's specific to Fortress of Terror. So now we have 7 relics that we can carry with us into chapter 3 to go into this creepy tower. And how do we move through the levels in the tower? Well, I'll just show you again. You actually move around the tower using these teleport zones. So as you jump, these are, of course, orb teleporters, but you also have teleporters that will teleport you. For example, this is level 1. Notice you have multiple start spaces this time. You can choose and then jump around. Then the A will take you up to this level. B will take you all the way up here to the 3rd level. So you can use these. Of course, you can only use those once, and you can only use the orb teleporters once as well, but you still have a lot of options. And again, I've played this one a bazillion times, and I tell you, it works, but it's just as crunchy, just as sweat-inducing, just as heart stopping, trying to figure out, okay, I got to get through this thing. And it is challenging because the corners are tight when you get into the tower, and there's not as many free straightaways to move 6, and you've got to make decisions. But the good thing is you have some relics, like there's the portal hood, which allows you to teleport up to 3 spaces away and anywhere. That can help you when you're trapped, or the smiting sword, which turns your combat die, or turns one of your movement dice into another combat die, so you can move through and slay these annoying little guys. Little red guys. Okay, so that's chapter 2. Now, I know I spent 30 minutes on this video, maybe 12 minutes once you know what you're doing, something like that on this one. A little bit shorter on this one when you know what you're doing. I usually play this one somewhere between 8 and 10 minutes. This one takes me a little longer because it's a little crunchier. But that's why the gameplay is advertised about an hour, because it's about an hour, but not in your first game probably. But once you play a couple games, you figure out the rules and what you're doing, it's about an hour. Of course, we're taking these relics with us to the next chapter, so that's how it works. I hope you enjoy this. I hope it helps you see how the game works. And I hope you can start to imagine, wow, if you can do that, then in the next chapter, what's different? Well, we add the combat die, and we now have monsters we have to kill, and we have to collect these keys. These 3 keys. There's a key on every level. We have to collect those in order to go to the stairway, unlock the doors to Brahm's chamber to go onto this level. Brahm's chamber is completely different than all these other 3 chapters. You're actually just moving around with your dice every round, trying to use them all. And any dice you don't use, you take damage to your fortitude because the floor is burning and it's super hot. And you're trying to keep moving constantly. And if you stop moving by not using all your dice, you get scorched. But if you use all your dice, you end up blocking more spaces of movement, and you'll run out of space and get stuck. So there's a lot of things to handle. At the same time, Brahm is teleporting around here in the chamber, and you have to be in his section to use the orb die to attack him. I hope that helps you see all the different things going on just in Fortress of Terror. Then you go into Temple of Despair, you'll see some completely different things. And I'm just super excited to see what happens in Highway of Terror. Highway of Speed. I mean, good grief. The things you can do with your car. I'll have to talk about that in another update. But anyway, I hope this was helpful, everybody. Have a great night.